Gobble. Ha ha ha! No, I'm not a turkey. I'm Tekking101 here, and welcome to the first ever and probably only day of Shanksgiving, where we give thanks to Shanks. Thank you, Shanks. Well, that's all I had planned. You know, honestly, I just wanted to have a video on the channel called Shanksgiving. That was really all that this was, and I'm happy for that now. So the rest of this is just kind of arbitrary. Also, I got this cool turkey hat, which I just discovered. Check this out. I'm a turkey ninja. Okay. Alright, so, no, I do have some other stuff I want to talk about. Something that I am actually thankful for, Oda creating the character of Shanks, you know? And, it's not even the simple stuff. You might say it's like, oh, well, he's the character that inspired Luffy to become a pirate, so that's something to be thankful for. Or he's a badass Yonko, or a badass swordsman, or, I don't know, a badass ping pong player. You know, Shanks probably would just be a freaking dominator at ping pong. You watch him. He's only got one arm, but he's got this. He's trained like Forrest Gump with this shit. Okay, so something that I do actually want to talk about here. You know what role Shanks has in the series? Because every single time I talk about Shanks, I usually do it in a very similar way, where I talk about just how laid back he is. You know, compared to all the other Yonko, like compare him to Big Mom or Kaido or even Blackbeard now, and Blackbeard's a new Yonko relatively to the series. You know, you have Kaido that rules over all of Wano along with the, you know, Orochi, and he has this giant crew, the Beast Pirates, right? Has all these headliners and the Calamities. Big Mom rules over literally an entire country. Like, if you're just gonna talk about the Yonko that rules like the one land, like the most surface area under their control, probably Big Mom, because she has like that entire all these islands under her command, all of Totland. Blackbeard, we don't really know much about him yet, but it's like he has a large fleet as well, so he's gaining a lot of power as well. But when it comes to Shanks, he's chill. Man, like, he doesn't have a country he rules over. There are islands that are under his protection, sure, but Shanks isn't the kind of guy where he's like, I now rule this country as the king. You will listen to me. That's not what he does. He goes around in a ship that has, like, you know, less than 100 crew, probably only a couple, you know, dozen, really. That's all he needs, though. So that's the way I'm usually talking about Shanks. And you know what all this adds up to? Shanks' role in the series, he's the hype man. And this is something that is not just in One Piece. This is something that's used in other battle shonen as well. Not every single one of them, but the basic gist of it is this. And you could tell me where you've seen this in other series. I have an example, but you can give me your examples too. Okay, here's how it works. At the beginning of a series, of a battle shonen, you introduce a really just ridiculously strong character. And then you do not focus on them for dozens or hundreds of chapters. That's how you do it. That's how you build the hype. The example I was going to give was from Hunter x Hunter with Gon's dad, Gene, all right? And we hear things about Gene early on in the series, like, oh, he's this really badass hunter, you know, and then later on we find out a little bit more about him, and we see what he's doing in the world, and he's like, holy crap! You know, he's riding on a giant dragon on top of another giant monster thing, like, what the hell? So it's just like, every time you see him, it's like, you know, it's getting real. Shanks has that rule. There are 925 chapters of One Piece, with this chapter this week being 925, okay? And the number of times Shanks has appeared, probably less than 12. Like, if we're going to talk about, like, you know, standalone actual appearances in the story, it's very low. We don't know anything about how he fights. I mean, we know he uses a sword, but we've never seen him in a sword fight. We know he has Conqueror's Haki, but we've never seen him in a battle of hockey. Kind of, with Whitebeard, they clashed, but we cut away from that. We didn't see anything. We just saw them clash, and that was it. It was enough to, like, rankle the heavens. But it's not just fighting. That's not just what he's, you know, hype man for. It's, he shows up at the war to stop the fighting. He shows up at Reverie to just talk to the Gorosei. Just to talk to them. Just seriously. He's just like, alright, the Gorosei are in their room of authority, and they're like, all right, well, we have a special guest we have to, listen to now, and it's just Shanks, and he doesn't have his sword. He's not, like, raiding Marijois. It's not like he busts through the room of authority with his crew, and he's like, bring it on, Gorosei! He just unsheaves Griffin, his mighty saber, and they just start charging and fighting with the Gorosei. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Absolutely not. Shanks is just there, wearing a cloak, going to sit down and have a very lengthy conversation with the rulers of the world, or some of the rulers of the world, from what we find out later with Im-sama. But that alone is enough to get us hype. Hell, not even that, not even going that far. When Luffy got his newest bounty, his 1.5 billion berry bounty, we just see Shanks chilling out on a rock, reading the newspaper. That's all we saw. He's just chilling out on the shore of some random island, reading a paper, being like, cool, Luffy, we're probably gonna see each other sooner rather than later. And that was enough to get the whole fandom like, okay, Shanks! Yes! 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 You read that paper, Shanks! You read the out of that paper, Shanks! Yeah! You sit on that rock! Because you have to understand, that hat was getting annoying, but you have to understand, man, like this series is 21 years going strong, and it's gonna be way more than that. Sorry, my turkey is being covered up by my large black phallic microphone. But you have to understand, that long waiting for this, alright? It does it in such a beautiful way, where Oda has a plan for him. Eventually we're gonna get to that 1v1 Shanks fight. Whether it's gonna be Shanks fighting Blackbeard or whoever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who he fights. I do not care. We're gonna get it at some point. We're gonna get the scene where we focus entirely on Shanks's crew. Oda is obviously saving that, I think, for the final challenge. I think that's what he's going to make it. The easy way of looking at this is saying Blackbeard is going to be the final challenge. Like, of course, we're in the Yonko saga right now. Luffy already took on Big Mom. They didn't win, but, just seeing what they had to offer. Here's Totland, here's her soul fruit, here's everything Big Mom had to offer. Now we're in Wano. Okay, we're seeing everything Kaido has. We're seeing all the Beast Pirates, the Calamities, the Headliners, all that stuff, plus Kaido himself, who is a dragon, I may remind you. It is Shanksgiving, but let's not forget, Kaido is a dragon. That needs to be a national holiday. We need to make that a national holiday. Whatever day it was revealed, we're making it a national holiday, an international holiday. Something that I think everybody, because, all the different countries of the world, they don't all see eye to eye or anything, but I think if there's one thing that can really unify the world purely and get all 7 billion plus humans working together for a single goal, it is that one day where we can all just celebrate the fact that Kaido is, in fact, a dragon. I think we can make that work. UN, get on that. But anyway, yeah, so then now we have, Blackbeard as well is going to be after that. And I think people are thinking, like, they're going to arrive at Raftel, and it's going to be like, before the Straw Hats can get the One Piece, or if they get the One Piece, they're going to have to keep it. They're going to have to fight against Blackbeard, right? And that, of course, is going to happen, because, like I said, there's members of Blackbeard's crew that are, like, the opposite variant of the Straw Hats, so that's going to happen. But what happens after that? I think we're going to have a part of the story where it's like Shanks sees that Luffy has, all the stuff he's went through, all the opponents he's faced off against and defeated, and Shanks might feel like it's his responsibility, like, I gotta test him, or I gotta do this as his final opponent until he can actually get it. Especially if it is a battle for the One Piece, because Shanks has really no interest in it himself, I don't think, but he's probably very particular about the people that will find the One Piece, because Shanks is not stupid. He's actually one of the smartest characters in the entire story. So Shanks is probably smart enough to figure out Big Mom, Kaido, Blackbeard, they all probably have a fair shot at getting the One Piece. You can't just rule that out. You can't just say, like, oh, there's no way Big Mom's gonna get the freaking One Piece. You can't roll it out. They're looking for it. They have the resources for it. It's not impossible. So Shanks might, if someone tries to get to the One Piece first, he might try to stop them. But even if the Straw Hats manage to get there, and Shanks is there. I don't, because Oda set up like there's going to be this big epic war, you know, right around the time the One Piece is discovered, because that's what you do. You know, it's a treasure that no one has ever found before, so you're going to wait until somebody finds it and then try to, oh, okay, well, number one, we know it exists, and number two, we know exactly where it is. It's with the Straw Hats. Okay, everybody attack the Straw Hats now. So after this big epic war happens, Shanks might be at the end of this, and he just might be like, Luffy, you've done an amazing job here. I'm sure Roger would be proud. But you have to show me that you're worthy of this treasure. You have to show me that you are strong enough to take this treasure personally. I want to test your skills. Now, it's not going to be like, you know, Shanks, the red hair pirates, and then Luffy, the straw hat pirates, fight to the death! You know, like, it's not going to be anything like that epic, but I would love to see that. I would love to see, like, a sparring match just between the... And that would also be a great job of... If the Straw Hats win, that's great. But if they don't, it's at least showing them, like, they can still get stronger. There's still, like, a bigger world out there. It's not like, we found the One Piece. Okay, it's over. We're the strongest ever. No one ever was. It would be cool if they got the One Piece, they fight Shanks and the crew, and we got to see everything, like Ben Beckman and Lucky Roo, everything they get. Yasopp. Oh, man. Yasopp fighting Usopp. Like, as a father, and like, let me see what you got, son. Like, oh, that would be crazy. And at the end of it, they're like, okay, the red hair pirates clearly win, but you've proven that you're worthy. You can take it. But this is just a message to show you, do not get cocky. There's still so much more about the world that you can get stronger and stuff. So we're building up to something. It might not be exactly like that. That's more of just my opinion on the matter. But we're going to get to that point in the series where Shanks and the red hair pirates, they fight against an enemy, like, directly. And we're going to get to see everything that they're capable of. And that is, it's no exaggeration to say that in a lot of fans' eyes, that is the reason that they're continuing to read. Because, yeah, we read One Piece because we love the story and the characters, and Nami's boobs, and just the plot, and Robin's boobs, and just, you know, the amazing, just, you know, worlds that Oda can craft, you know, the world building aspects and everything, and Frankie's boobs. But it's the point of it all is, it's gonna have to culminate in something. We need to get a reward for all this, you know? Like, and we're like, okay, we're reading the story on a weekly basis. So when we finally do reach that finish line, it all clicks. We all got it. All the characters we've met, all the plot threads that have been picked up, all the abilities that have been introduced, it all culminates at the end of the story, and we're on it. We all the fans that have been reading since day one, or we've been caught up, which even getting caught up to One Piece is a hard thing to do now. It's just such a large series. But we finally get to that point where, like, yeah, we know about this. And so that's a reason for a lot of people. Is like, we want to see what's happening with Shanks just as much as just as much as you want to see what the One Piece is, just as much as you want to see a battle between Luffy and Blackbeard, or you see Luffy's awakened devil fruit, what that's going to be like. Just as much as you see all that, or the revelation of what the Void Century is, you also want to see Shanks in a serious battle and what he can do and everything related to him, because we just don't focus on him all that much. So yeah, that's what I'm really thankful for on this Shanksgiving. Okay, so holy crap, I managed to pull an actual video out of my ass on this one. Yes! I'll be straight up with you. How I do a lot of my videos, most of them, like when we're doing the discussion videos, like when I did the Straw Hat discussion series, or the One Punch Man S-Class, or just the My Hero Academia Class 1A ones that just ended, when we're doing like big time discussion videos like that, I need to do a bunch of research. I need to write down a bunch of notes and structure exactly like how I'm going to tackle this character, because especially like with like Izuku's video, he's the main character of My Hero Academia. That video was like an hour and a half. I had to structure it a certain way. But most of the time when I'm doing videos that aren't really that extensive on research, I'll have like a basic intro to it, like how I'm going to open up the conversation, but beyond that, it's just like, all right, I'll just take it away in whatever direction I take it, and usually by the 5-minute mark, I'm on a roll, and we just keep going until I finish, and that's how it is. Yeah, so yeah. Hope you had a good Shanksgiving, Thanksgiving, whatever. I'm actually not filming this on Thanksgiving itself. I'm filming this the day before. In fact, probably the time you're watching this right now, I'm probably in my kitchen making a pie to take down, you know, dinner for Thanksgiving, so that's cool. Hope the pie turned out okay, future Tekking. Yeah, but I hope you guys have a good one. If you live in the United States, then I hope you have a good time with your friends and your family, and fighting each other in the streets tonight on Black Friday, which is now pretty much on a Thursday. because this day is as much about gorging yourself on turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes as it is about shopping. And as for the chapter, okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I have read the spoilers for the next One Piece chapter, chapter 925. I'm not going to spoil anything. Here's what I'm going to say, though. If the spoilers for this chapter are accurate, I could probably make no less than 6 different videos, full-length, like, videos, you know, talking about the stuff that is going to happen in this next chapter. Not even exaggerating about that. This is a big one. Okay. Well, I think we've just leave it at that if you haven't seen and read them yet. Okay. Well, anyway, have a great day, everybody, and Tekking101 signing out. Turkey teleportation jutsu!